ladies and gentlemen, this is Spider, and welcome back to another review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Animated Deluxe Lockdown. Now, I usually start off these reviews by taking a look at the packaging, but I don't have it anymore, so here's a trash can instead. Alright, now that we're done with that, onto the figure. So here we have Lockdown in his vehicle mode. It was originally released in 2008, and based on his appearance on the cartoon Transformers Animated, as you may have guessed from the name of the figure. So we'll get in close here and take a look at it. So we got the car, made mostly in this black plastic, but it does have some bits of color to separate, like this green on the front here, some silver there. We got a little bit of silver on the back as well. It's got some red translucent windows. I really like that. It looks very, very nice. Got some spikes on the roof and a gold-ish Decepticon symbol on the roof. And you get the headlights cast in that same red translucent plastic. You got the wheels with a spike coming out of it. It's not very sharp. It's all kind of dulled, but yeah, it's still there. You get the back wheels with that same spike. You got the exhaust coming out of both sides. Back here, which again with those silver and with some tail lights, again in the red translucent plastic. And I really appreciate that it has both headlights and tail lights. You know, usually they'll just have like headlights or something, but so it's always appreciated when they do both. You get the exposed engine, which looks very cool. And overall, he's just a really cool looking vehicle mode. You know, just big old muscle car. It's quite cool. Again, I can't speak. You got the underneath of the vehicle, which isn't even that bad, honestly, as far as like kibble goes. You know, exposed parts. Like, yeah, you do have his chest there, but for the most part, it's not too bad. It's pretty cool. So overall, it is a pretty sweet vehicle mode. I quite like it. And the engine bit is actually removable. Yeah, it can pop off. But don't lose it, because if you do, the car mode looks kind of funky without it. Yeah, you get the engine, which if you press this itty bitty little button at the bottom there, you do that, then these things flip out, and then it becomes the EMP generator. Plug that back into the hood, and so you can have them having some shooting some EMP waves in car mode. But I'm gonna switch it back to regular mode. Yeah, pretty cool. It's a pretty neat vehicle. But then again, with Transformers, like, the vehicle mode is usually, like, they usually get that right, so not surprising, but it is quite cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the car mode, so on to size comparisons. Alrighty, so to start off the size comparisons, here we have it with a LEGO minifigure, the Pack of Destruction minifigure Mothra, the Pack of Destruction minifigure Godzilla. Alright, now on to some more relevant size comparisons. Here it is with the McDonald's Transformers Animated Lug-Nut. Here it is with the 2007 movie Voyager Ratchet. And here it is with the 2007 movie Leader Class Optimus. He's a little bit bigger. Just a smidge, just a tad. Just a little bit. Alright, so put that out of the way. Now it is measuring time. So put them out there, focus them a little bit. That's quite bright. As you can see, the vehicle mode is, oh no, you can't see it. Raise up the camera a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. Say it's about 5.5 inches, so it's a pretty decent vehicle mode. almost 3 inches wide, so yeah, it's decently sized vehicle mode. But now that we're done with the size comparisons and the measuring and all that, it is time for the transformation. So make sure the camera is all focused in. Alrighty, so first thing you want to do is come, that's transformed ahead of time. So what you want to do is come back here and just separate that bit from this middle section. And you do the same on the other side. Goodness, that is a very tight connection. But it's got some pretty thick pegs, so I don't have, can't speak. I don't think you have to worry about breaking it. Alright, so what you want to do is turn one of them down like that, and then bring this bit up like so, so it's a bit out of the way. And bring these down like that. And I already have to raise up the camera. Goodness gracious and gracious goodness. Alrighty. So, since we're here, we're going to finish it up. So what we want to do is extend the legs like so. I'm going to fold this down, bend this bit so you can get some more clearance to get that in there. And what you want to do is fold that up and then fold that up. You get a leg all done. You do the same on the other side. This one's a lot easier to extend on mine for some reason. Put that down, do that, do this, and do that. And you got the legs all done. And what you want to do is rotate it at the waist. Get them all sturdy. I think I might have to raise the camera up again. Goodness. So then what you want to do is come here and split that. Fold that down at the sides. Kind of position that out. Rotate that. And then flip out the hand. And then you do the same on the other side. Flip it out. Just gonna set that down. Then what you want to do is fold this bit down, and then fold out the head. And there you are. You are done. You have, oh wait, hang on. I'll fold those up. Now you're done. You have Lockdown in his robot mode. And as you can probably tell, he grew quite a bit. Like, he went from a standard deluxe vehicle mode to like a Voyager height robot mode. It's crazy. Anyways, so we'll start things off with the articulation. So his head can look side to side, and unfortunately that's about it. The arms can go about that far out, but if you use the transformation joint, it can go all the way out. Arms can go all the way around. He is a double jointed elbow, but you don't even need both joints to get a full bend. But you can use them both if you want. And he's got a ball jointed elbow, so he does have a rotation there. The hands can't really do all that much. And yes, they do not extend any further than this. For some reason, something about the way the hands are molded, they just can't extend all the way. I don't know why. There is apparently something you can do to fix it, but I don't really feel like doing it. Too lazy. Anywho, he has a... Whoops. I kind of messed that up. Hang on a second. Alright, we're back. Grabbed onto the wrong piece and the figure started coming apart. Okay, so is the rotation at the waist, legs, with a very high kick, and a very nice back kick. Goodness. As okay, do this, can't really do the splits all the way. He does have a thigh rotation. Has a meh bend at the knee. And the foot can go down and a little bit up. And that's about it for that. So overall, it's some pretty standard articulation, but for the 2008 figure, it's actually pretty dang good. Especially if you go back and watch my 2007 movie figures, like, some of them can't even articulate as well as he can, so very nice for the time. Alrighty, now we are on to the details. But before we get into that, we should probably finish out his look, huh? Because I'm sure some of you are screaming like, you didn't finish the transformation. So what you want to do is fold in that hand, come back here, and just separate that bit. So just got a little peg there, and it plugs into that. And you fold out this hook piece. And then there's a peg there, a hole there, and you just plug it in. Which is a little difficult to do on camera. Come on. There we go. Now we have Lockdown all complete. Now he's all finished. Okay, now we can get into the details. So we got a very, very nice head sculpt. Did an excellent job capturing the look of Lockdown. He's got some spikes on his neck, and he does have some light piping going on there. Very nice light piping as well. Like, I don't even need to get the flashlight out. You can already see it working. It's very nice. He's got another goldish Decepticon symbol on his chest, which isn't actually accurate to the show. I believe he just had a solid black insignia that wasn't an Autobot or Decepticon, but it doesn't really bug me. You know, some people might complain about all the Decepticon symbols on him, saying like, oh, Lockdown's not a Decepticon. But I'm like, he basically is. I mean, he's technically not, but he is. I mean, the whole show, who is he working for the whole time? Decepticons. So it's like, Anyhow, you got some dark green and then some lighter green here on the chest. And you got some lighter green here and on the thighs. You got some more spiked shoulder pads. Get some silver there. You get some yellow revealed for the hook arm. You get the hook itself, which is nice and silvery. You got his hand, which is decent. You got his legs. His foots. You got the back of the figure, which is very, very nice. Like, goodness, there is like nothing that shouldn't be there that is there. That didn't make any sense. But he's got a clean back, is what I'm trying to say. So yes, very, very nice. Very, very well detailed. And I really appreciate how they actually went out of their way to make his design asymmetrical. So like you got silver on this bicep, and then green on this one, and then the whole shins are like molded differently. You can see like you got this knee pad there, and that one here, and there's more gray on this side. And I really like that they went out of their way to make him look that way, because in the show, like, he was like a almost Frankenstein's monster kind of look to him, with just a bunch of mismatched parts, you know, because he was obsessed with upgrading himself. And I like that they emulated that here on the figure. Very, very nice. Yeah, very, very nice. Very appreciative. So overall, he is a pretty cool figure. In some decent poses. So yeah, it's quite nice. I like him, but we're not quite done yet, because there is one more thing we gotta talk about here with Lockdown, and that has to do with the arm. Just like robot mode, you can activate this exposed engine bit and turn it into the EMP generator, but here, all you have to do is just press down on it, and then the two bits flip out. So that's really cool. Yeah, there's an actual piece here that you can just press it down. You see I think it's this bit which presses in to the button and makes it activate. That piece is not present in the vehicle mode, so that's why you can't activate it that way. But you can in the robot mode, and that's really cool. And of course, it is still removable. And it doesn't look too bad without it in robot mode. But what's really cool about this EMP generator piece is that you can actually give it to the animated Ratchet figure. There's a spot on his arm where you can place this on. Because, those of you who don't remember in the show, Lockdown actually stole this from Ratchet back during the war. So I think that's a really neat play feature. And, you know, encourages you to collect both figures. Because usually it's like, oh, you can collect the figures and you have the whole set, and that's like the only reason to get it. But here, like, you got a compatible accessory, so that's really cool. I really like that. I think it encourages you to get both, and you get a fun little thing out of it. So yeah, overall, just a really cool robot mode. Yeah, it is a bit limited in the legs, like I said. Like that knee does kind of, it's not great, but you know, it did come out in 2008, so it is a little dated, but for the most part, pretty cool. Alrighty, that's all out of the way. Now it's on to size comparisons part 2. Okay, so once again, to start things off, here we have it with a Lego minifigure. With the pack of destruction minifigure Mothra. And with the pack of destruction minifigure Godzilla. Alrighty. On to the more relevant size comparisons. So we have it with the McDonald's Happy Meals toy Lugnut. With the 2007 movie Voyager Ratchet. He's actually a bit taller than him, despite just being a deluxe. We have it with the 2007 movie Leader Class Optimus Prime. And we have it with the NECA Aliens Xenomorph Warrior. Why am I comparing these two, you may ask? Because Lockdown was actually voiced and animated by Lance Henriksen, who played Bishop in Aliens. So, yeah, neat little reference. And finally, here he is with the previous review, the Diamond Select 1974 Mechagodzilla Vinimate. Alright, now that we're done with that, it's measuring time once again. Come here, Lockdown, and let us measure you. You can see he's basically 8 inches tall, so it's for a deluxe figure, he's very big. He's quite large. I think he's even a bit taller than the Hunt for the Decepticons Lockdown, but don't quote me on that. I don't actually own that figure, so I don't know for sure, but I think he's a little taller. Yeah, so pretty big figure, so you're getting a pretty big figure just for a deluxe price. So that's quite nice. And overall, the figure itself is quite nice. He's just a really cool figure and a pretty good mold. And Hasbro must have agreed, because they re-released this mold several times. Like, there was the stealth version, which was made in all clear plastic, which for a Transformer is kind of a nightmare, because don't have the greatest relation with clear plastic Transformer fans. The next version was the Dakara one, which had more cartoon accurate colors. There was the Blazing version, which was black and gold. And finally, there was the version released in the Transformer Adventures toy line, which was black and purple. So, yeah, quite a few reissues of this mold. And if you wanted this figure for yourself, he is unfortunately a bit expensive on the aftermarket. On eBay, he's going for around $40 to $70. And that's out of the box. Like, if you want this thing brand new, you're going to pay well over $100. So yeah, that's the unfortunate thing with a lot of animated toys. That they got really expensive over time. I mean, I paid around like $50, over $50 for this figure. So yeah, if you want one for yourself, you're gonna have to pay a pretty penny for it. So, yeah, but he is pretty cool. So if you can get him for a somewhat reasonable price, he is worth it, I think. He's quite nice. I do like him. I do like him. So, that's pretty much it for this review, but right before I end it, I do want to mention one more thing. That if y'all remember, in the unboxing video I did of this guy, I talked about how I was collecting a bunch of animated figures to review back-to-back, similar to what I did with my 2007 movie Transformer figures. Well, I finally got all the animated figures I wanted to get. So, get ready, because for the next several weeks I'm going to be reviewing nothing but Transformer animated figures. So look forward to that. But until then, see you later. Sayonara. Bye.